I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Jussi Saros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Sonny. And before we get to the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, first, let me introduce you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you learn everything you need to know about the show and what you're getting educated about the show. Click on that merchandise tab. Going to take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you come to know and love and expect from Renegades Puck are still available in our online store, whether that is socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, or so much more. Something like 88 different items with our logo on it. Best said, we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. You can find us on X and Threads. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook, TikTok as well. So please take just a second and give us a follow, give us a like, give us a subscription on any of those different platforms, whatever it is you prefer. Jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck YouTube. We sure could use your assistance right over there, and we sure do appreciate all of our new subscribers. So check us out by searching Renegades of Puck on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. That's where you'll find the latest episodes of Renegades of Puck TV, all of our preview segments, our recap segments, and all of our different specialty segments. We post them all there on our YouTube channel. Thanks to the Full Press Predators Network, the Full Press NHL Network, we have gone from local to global in 2023 and continued that momentum well on into 2024. So stick taps, love, and respect to everyone who's checked out the show and helped make us an incredible success in the podcast world. You can find us on Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, several other platforms. Just search Renegades of Puck in your preferred platform today, and stick taps, love, and respect to everybody at the Full Press NHL Network for all of the hard work they've done behind the scenes to help make us such a great success. Venmo, that is how you can support the show financially. Just go to Venmo and search Renegades of Puck, or scan the QR code that is currently on your screen. Every dollar goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck, and we sure do appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time and helping us out with several different large projects over the last couple of years since we first launched this project. We always need the help, and we always need the support, and thanks to generous Renegades like you watching and listening right now, we've been able to make some significant upgrades, and we sure do appreciate that. Stick taps, love, and respect. It means a lot to have the support from such a great audience out there. It's great to be in the trenches with each and every one of you. Now listen, I know it's time for the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. At this moment in hockey history, we pause to recap the 2023-2024 NHL season for the Nashville Predators. We're going to do this in chunks of 5 games at a time, so here we go. It's time for the Rebirth Sports season recap.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back January 9th, year 2024, when the Nashville Predators were facing off against the Anaheim Ducks for the second time this regular season. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Goryanov, Sissons, and Parson, Smith, Novak, and Evangelista, Tomasino, Sissons, and McCarron. Your defensive pairings are as follows: Yossi and Fabro, McDonough and Chen, Luzon and Carey. Jussi Saros gets the start on home ice. We are just 1 minute and 14 seconds in the first period. Jussi Saros coming with a save on Radko Gudas, the first shot on goal of the game at the 132 mark. Dostal comes up with a save on Jeremy Luzon. Each team now has a shot on net in the first 2 minutes. At the 2:33 mark of the first period, Jussi Saros comes with a save on Carrick at 3:55 of the first. Dostal comes with a save on Carey at the 4:53 mark of the first period. Jussi Saros comes with a save on Lundstrom at 6:46 now. The first period, Jussi Saros comes with a save on the Toronto teams exchanging chances back and forth here early in the first period. At the 8:25 mark of the first period, we see Dostal coming with a save on Fabro. At the 9:04 mark of the first, we have our first penalty of the game in our first special teams scenario. Strome is off to the box for Anaheim 2 minutes for tripping on the captain, Roman Yossi. An incredibly strong shift by the Predators. Good zone time and pressure led to a tired Anaheim defense, ending up taking a penalty. On the power play for the Nashville Predators, one good scoring chance. Dostal would stop Nyquist, but that would be it. Unfortunately for the Preds, as soon as the power play expires, Strom out of the box at 11-12 on a breakaway beats UC Saros for his fourth goal of the season, giving Anaheim a 1-0 lead here in the first period. Again, the Nashville Predators seem to have fallen victim to this several times as of late, but a breakaway out of the box, getting behind the Nashville Predators defenseman and scoring for Anaheim. 11:28 of the first period. It's Schenn versus Carrick, 5 minutes each. Schenn going to get the boys fired up by getting his face punched in a whole bunch. Let's see how that ends up working out. 12:39 of the first period. Saros comes with a save on Strom at the 14:01 mark. Saros comes with a save on Leeson all alone in front at 14-11 of the first period for Toronto. His 19th goal of the season. It's a deflection that goes off of McDonough's skate, and in the deflection itself was going to go well wide, but then went to hit McDonough's skate and found its way easily into the empty net to give Anaheim a 2-0 lead now here in the first period. At 16:06 of the first period, Stoughton coming with a save on Glass's deflection. A good scrum after the whistle. The team starting to get after each other at the 17:21 mark of the first period. Forsberg with 2 minutes for cross-checking off to the box. That's when McTavish cashes in for the Anaheim Ducks with his 12th goal of the season. He goes with a sharp angle snipe off the top of the mask of UC Saros and in. Very little opportunity and open net right there, but he found it and banks it in off of the top of UC Saros' head. And in that, Anaheim now leads 3-0. 19:08 of the first period. Dostal comes with a save on O'Reilly. 19:53. Dostal comes with a save on Fabro. We hit the end of the first period. Anaheim leads 3-0, and they're out shooting the Nashville Predators 14-11. We go 2:40 into the clean sheet without anything happening before Dostal comes with a save on Glass's one-timer off McCarron's feet. A really great setup by Michael McCarron right here, and a great early period scoring opportunity for the Preds. But just 25 seconds later, 3:05 in the second period, it's Terry cashing with his 10th goal of the season. The puck went in off of Fabro, off of the rush, giving the Anaheim Ducks a 4-0 lead in this game at the 3:11 mark of the second period. It's Dostal coming with a save on Goryanov. At 5:01 of the second period, UC Saros comes with a save on Terry. 6:25, Dostal comes with a save on Smith. 7:52, Saros a save on Strom at the 8:35 mark of the second period. It's UC Saros again coming out with another save on Strom at the 9:19 mark of the second period. It's Dostal coming with a save on Tomasino, plus the follow-up by Michael McCarron. This line generating another good scoring opportunity. At the 9:47 mark of the second period, it's Dostal coming with a save on Yossi. The Preds are increasing the pressure, increasing their zone time, and Dostal is surviving. He's not thriving. He's giving up a lot of rebounds, but he is fighting the puck, and the Predators are getting plenty of good zone time, plenty of shots on net right here at the middle point of the game. 10:13 of the second period, it's Dostal coming with a save on Luke Evangelista at the 11:57 mark of the second period. It's UC Saros coming with a save on Strom at the 13:09 mark of the second period. It's UC Saros coming up with a save on McTavish at the 15:38 mark of the second period. It's UC Saros coming up with another save on McTavish. And for the Nashville Predators, if they've not been able to solve Dostal at this point in the period, it's going to be tough to make this big comeback at the 16:39 mark of the second period. On this back sheet, we find McTavish for Anaheim off the box, 2 minutes for interference. So the Nashville Predators are going to get an opportunity to get some momentum going. They're going to generate some good shots on goal right here. Dostal's going to come with a save on Forsberg and then come out with another save on the captain, Roman Josi, and one more save on the long shot by Ryan McDonough. After the power play expires, we go to 5-on-5 hockey, and things remain relatively quiet until the end of the period. 4-0 now in favor of the Anaheim Ducks, and the Nashville Predators are out shooting Anaheim 25-21. We flip over to the third period. We've got a clean sheet of ice, and 13 seconds in on that clean sheet, we find UC Saros coming with a save on Terry. At the 1:06 mark of the third period, Radko Gudas off the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Again, the Nashville Predators an opportunity to get themselves at least some momentum and start generating in the right direction. Dostal comes with a save on Forsberg, and that would be it for this power play. And you've heard this one already, and I know that you're sick of it. At 3:18, fresh out of the box, Radko Gudas gets a partial breakaway, and he ends up getting his own rebound and wrapping it around and banking it in off of one of the Nashville Predators player. Again, Radko Gudas' 6th goal of the season. He's also scored against the Nashville Predators in their previous meeting of the season. So Radko Gudas out of the box, partial breakaway, and then gets his own rebound, wraps it around, banks it in off of the Predators, and in 5-0 now in favor of Anaheim. At 8:23 of the third period, it's Glass off the box. 2 minutes for hooking. UC Saros dialing in right here, coming up with a huge save on Henrique, and then UC Saros comes up with a save on Vetrano at the back post. Maybe UC Saros' best save of the entire game, one of the only saves of the game that he made. Alex Carrier would end up blocking a shot, which initiated a rush. Nyquist would carry the puck through the neutral zone, and then end up feeding back to Alex Carrier, who would finish 5-hole for the Nashville Predators, getting the Preds on the board with a shorthanded goal. goal, Alex Carey's second goal of the season. It's 5-1 in favor of Anaheim, but you got to pause for a second and give Alex Carey a whole lot of credit. He blocked the shot, jumped up, jumped back in the rush, and Nyquist set him up with a perfect feed, and then he finished through the 5-hole clean. 5-1 now in favor of the Ducks. 10:25 in the third period. Saros coming with a save on Vetrano, plus the follow-up by Strome. At 11:47 of the third period, it's Vetrano hitting the crossbar, trying to pick that perfect snipe that Anaheim was able to do earlier in this game. Just missed getting that goal again. 13:44 of the third period, it's Glass off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. This is Glass's second penalty of the period, which is, of course, not very good. UC Saros would come with a save on Frank Vetrano. Preds would be able to kill off that power play. After the power play, we return to 5-on-5 hockey. That's where it's 17:02 of the third period. We find Philip Tomasino getting his fifth goal of the season. Michael McCarron doing an incredible amount of hard work and bringing the Jam down low, gets the puck to the low circle with just the most perfect feed. Tomasino ready for it, stick down, fires it home for his fifth of the season. Now it's a 5-2 game, but the Preds have 2 goals in this game, 2 here in the third period. This would allow the Preds to pull their netminder, UC Saros, and go with the 6-on-5 extra attacker for the remainder of the game in an attempt to have a 3-goal comeback in the final 3 minutes. At 17:27 of the third period with the extra attacker on, Dostal comes with a save on Forsberg. Preds get plenty of zone time, but not able to get a lot of shots through on traffic until 19:16 of the third period. That's where Goryanov gets his first goal of the season, first goal as a Nashville Predator. He brings the rebound jam and pokes that puck home with the 6-on-5 advantage. And for Goryanov, it was just going to the top of the crease and jamming away and jamming away. He had other teammates also assisting in the jam, and Goryanov is the one who finally gets a stick on it and pushes it past Dostal and into the net for the rebound jam goal, his first of the season, the Preds' third goal of the period. Anaheim now leads 5-3. Preds will pull UC Saros again immediately, and they will get a little bit more zone time, but nothing else happens in this one. The score ends up looking a hell of a lot more respectable than it actually was. The Anaheim Ducks come away with the 5-3 victory at Bridgestone Arena. It is the Nashville Predators out shooting Anaheim 42-33, but it is Dostal who stood tall and held strong in the large portion of the second period is when the Predators were going to get a comeback going, if they were going to get a comeback going. But then once they went down 5-0, it was nearly impossible and spent the majority of the third period trying to come back. A shorthanded goal, excellent by Carey Tomasino. Nice to see him get on the board again. Goryanov, nice to see him get his first goal of the season. But for the Nashville Predators, they came out absolutely terribly flat in this game, and it was really tough to watch. The first period for this Nashville Predators team down 3-0 to a 7th place in the Pacific Division. That's why you can't look at what place they're in the division and just assume you're going to pick up the 2 points. Dallas in the last game, the Preds looked amazing, and against the Anaheim Ducks, they looked absolutely terrible. Now, does that mean they're going to look amazing in Dallas in the next game? Who knows? But this was a terrible, terrible performance. The score looked so much better than it actually is. 5-3 is a reasonable looking score, but you've now lost 2 games on home ice to the Anaheim Ducks, and you've only managed to generate 5 total goals in those 2 games for a team that gives up tons of goals. This performance overall, this is one of the worst the Predators have had all season long. We have so much more to talk about. We have so much breakdown analysis, the box score, and I'm going to try not to get too worked up about it because, we're here to cover it. We're here to break it down. No matter how bad it is, that's exactly what we're going to do. That's the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Back next on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to January 12th, year 2024. When the Nashville Predators were in Dallas to take on the Stars for the third of four regular season meetings. Head coach Andrew Burnett deployed his lines and combinations in the following way. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Trennan, Sissons, and Gurionov. That is a new line combination right there to watch for. Smith, Novak, and Evangelista. Parson, McCarron, and Tomasino are your defensive pairings. Ariosian, Faber, Luzon, and Carey, and McDonough, and Shen. Lankinen gets the start on the first night of back-to-backs for the Nashville Predators. We get started, and we're 149 into the game. It's Lankinen coming with a save on Ryan Suter's first shot on goal of the game for either team. We're at 2:12 of the first period. Lankinen comes with a save on Lundqvist at the 4:22 mark of the first period. We found our first penalty of the game. It's Marchment off the box for tripping for the Nashville Predators on the power play. Ottinger back in the lineup, comes with a big save on Sissons as he drove to the net trying to make something happen. At 6:56 of the first period, Lankinen comes with a save on Rupe Hintz at 8:11 of the first. Ottinger comes with a save on Philip Forsberg. A lot of play now between the face-off dots for about the next 4 minutes before the 12:14 mark hits. And we see Ottinger coming with a save on Jeremy Luzon at the 18:17 mark. Another long stretch of continuous play between the face-off dots. Ottinger comes with a save on Alex Carrier at the 19:05 mark of the first period. Lankinen comes with a save on Ben at 19:14. Lankinen comes with a save on Lindell. And that would allow Dallas to outshoot the Nashville Predators 7-6 in the first period in what you would certainly consider a low event period. The Nashville Predators largely outmatched the first 2/3 of this period, but did start to get their legs under them in the final 5 to 6 minutes. 2:09 into the second period. Now it's Ottinger coming up with a save on Cole Smith at the 3:09 mark of the second period. It's Ottinger coming with a save on Philip Tomasino at 4:23 of the second. It's Lankinen coming with a save on Pavelski at 5:51. Ottinger a save on Dante Fabro. We're all the way to 9:24 already in the second period, and it's Ottinger coming up with a save on Ryan McDonough at 8:44 of the second period. It's Lankinen coming up with a save on Tyler Seguin at 9:22 of the second period. After lots of back and forth and some fairly low event hockey, it is Luzon getting the Nashville Predators on the board first in this game with his fourth goal this season. He took the long shot, followed it up, got to the rebound of the slot area, and cleaned up for his fourth goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead in Dallas. At 11:45 of the second period, it's Ottinger coming up with a save on Tommy Novak. At 12:03 of the second period, it's Cole Smith off the box. 2 minutes for tripping. While the Nashville Predators are on the PK, it's going to be Jamie Benn picking up 4 minutes for high sticking. That's going to create a 4-on-4 for a brief time, and that's where the Nashville Predators are capitalizing, picking up their second goal of the game. It's Tommy Novak picking up his 7th of the season. It was off of the rush, and he got a great feed from Gurionov for Tommy Novak breaking through and getting this goal. It was a long time coming, and you could tell he let out a roar after this one. This one felt good. Novak's 7th puts the Preds up 2-0 in Dallas. Now, the Predators, after the 4-on-4 would expire, would go on to have a 2-minute-plus power play. Ottinger would come up with a save on O'Reilly. Significant pressure and zone time by the Preds. Ottinger would then come up with another save on Philip Forsberg. The Dallas PK would hold. 16:37 into the second period. It's Ottinger coming up with a save on Nyquist at the 17:33 mark of the second period. Lankinen comes with a save on Lundqvist at 18:13 of the second period. It's Ottinger coming up with a save on Alex Carey at 18:34 of the second period. Cole Smith with a golden opportunity off of a great feed hits the iron, and that one rings out. For just the briefest of seconds, it looked like that one had gotten in and maybe went off the back post, but maybe that was more wishful thinking. But Smith hits the iron. That puck goes out of there at 18:34. Nothing else happens through the rest of the second period. We hit the intermission. The Predators now have 21 shots on goal at the end of the second period, so they go from 6 to 21, so they generate 15 shots on net in the second. The Dallas Stars, another 7 shots on goal in the second. They go from 7 to 14. Preds so far have the only 2 goals in this game, leading 2-0. We go over to the third period. The Preds, by the way, have had a 2-0 lead in every single game against this Dallas Stars this season. By the way, the Preds are 1-1 against the Dallas Stars coming into this third meeting of the season. Set you up for the third period. We're 11 seconds into the third period now, and Lankinen is coming up with a save on Pavelski at 1:09 of the third period. It's Hakanpää coming up with his second goal of the season. By the way, both of those goals are against the Nashville Predators. Perfect setup by Matt Duchene. The Stars were buzzing all around, and it is all not the first minute, but it's only 9 seconds after the first minute. A huge momentum-building goal for this Dallas Stars team, who are accustomed to coming from behind and accustomed to playing from down on the score sheet. Nashville Predators now lead 2-1, just 1:09 into the third period. 2:24 to the third period. Lankinen comes up with a save on Harley at 2:51. Ottinger comes up with a save on Colton Sissons at 3:29 of the third period. Ottinger comes up with a save on O'Reilly. We flip things over to the backside of the sheet. We find at 3:41 of the third period, it's O'Reilly coming up with this 16th goal of the season. Rebound jam on Forsberg's shot. O'Reilly cuts across the top of the crease, finds the loose puck before anyone else can. He is so good and such a professional at doing this exact thing called bringing the jam. So he tucks the puck in for his 16th goal of the season. The Preds get that 2-goal lead back almost immediately, now leading 3-1. In the third period, 4:10 in the third period, it's Smith off the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Lankinen would have to quote, it's a huge save on Robertson. We go all the way to 7:29 of the third period now, and it's Lankinen coming up with a save on Pavelski. But at 8:11 of the third period, it's Johnston scoring his 11th goal of the season. And Johnston seems to be another guy that you can put on the list for having good career early on against this Nashville Predators. He's a good, young-looking product. Long rebound, he puts it back in the net, beats Lankinen. Johnston's 11th makes the game 3-2. Dallas right back in this thing again. 9:49 of the third period. It's Tyler Seguin off the box. 2 minutes for hooking, and that's where Philip Forsberg is going to work with his 22nd goal of the season. The captain, Roman Josi, does all of the work with the fake shot that freezes everyone on the rink. Philip Forsberg wide open, waiting for it on the back post. Had time to corral it, stop it, pick his shot, and snipe. Forsberg's 22nd of the season gives the Preds back that 2-goal lead yet again. They now lead 4-2. Halfway through the third period. At 11:05 of the third period, it's Ottinger coming up with a save on Luke Evangelista. At the 11:40 mark of the third period, it's Ottinger coming up with a save on Goryanov. At 12:05 of the third period, it is Philip Forsberg off to the box. 2 minutes for boarding. Kind of a weird play how this all shook out. Two different Predators took the man into the wall. Forsberg ends up getting called for boarding. The Dallas Stars find themselves on a power play, and that's where Matt Duchene goes to work, scoring his 13th goal of the season, making it a 1-goal game yet again. Nashville now leads 4-3 in the third period. For Matt Duchene, we all know how good he can snipe it. Sharp angle just at the bottom of the face-off circle. He goes ahead and rips that thing into a perfect spot just under the crossbar. Not much you can do about that. Duchene scores the power play goal for the Dallas Stars. Still 4-3 in favor of the Nashville Predators. At 13:55 of the third period, Ottinger comes with a save on Philip Forsberg. At 14:33 of the third period, we see Hanley off the box. 2 minutes for tripping on Tommy Novak. Novak chipped the puck, chased it, and drew this power play for his team. Really good effort here by Tommy Novak. Really smart play as well. Ottinger would come up with a save on Sissons while shorthanded, but the Dallas Stars PK unit would again be strong and hold strong, keeping the Nashville Predators off the board. In 17:21 mark of the third period, we see the empty net scenario with the defensive zone draw for the Nashville Predators. The Dallas Stars elect to pull a netminder. 17:27 is when Nyquist puts the goal into the empty net, his 11th of the season. It was O'Reilly on the face-off win, draws it back to Josi. Josi hits Nyquist high in the zone. Nyquist fires it down the ice, and in just 6 seconds, the Nashville Predators convert on the empty net to take a 5-3 lead in this game. At 19:30 of the third period, it's Juuso Parssinen with the empty net again, coming up with his 7th goal of the season, another empty net goal for the Nashville Predators. This one comes along the wall right at the red line. Again, Parssinen, his 7th, the Preds' 2nd empty net goal. That makes it 6-3 in the third period. Nothing would happen over the final 30 seconds of this game, so 6-3 would be your final score. A wild, wild third period in Dallas, and the Nashville Predators keep pushing, keep fighting, keep coming back, and find a way to win this game 6-3. The score is impressive by the time it's over. The Preds outshoot the Dallas Stars 38-22 in this game. And again, for the Nashville Predators, going into Dallas 2 times in a row, taking all 4 of those points, managing to score a combined 10 goals in those 2 games against the Dallas Stars. That's good. That's impressive stuff, and I'm very happy to see the Nashville Predators bounce back from that previous game. The Jekyll and the Hyde thing still continues, but the Nashville Predators got up for a game they needed to, for a game against a team that's ahead of them in the standings, and they are now 2 2-1 against the Dallas Stars on the season. Again, a really, really good effort to beat the Dallas Stars. And Lankinen goes 2-0 against the Stars in a week's time. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We're going to go ahead and clear things up right here. We'll come back. We'll have analysis, box score. We'll close this thing out and so much more. We got to get you all set. Less than 24 hours till the next game. So you're listening to the Renegades of Puck podcast right here on the Full Press NHL Network.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back January 13th of the year 2024 when the Nashville Predators were on the second night of a back-to-back back home to face off against the New York Islanders at Bridgestone Arena. Head coach Andrew Burnett deployed his lines as defensive pairings in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Trennan, Sisensen, Goryanov, Smith, Novak, Evangelista, Parston, McCarron, Tomasino. Your defensive pairings are Yossi and Fabro, McDonough and Shen, Luzon, Carrier, Saros gets the start in net. Yeah, I know who that guy is. 12 seconds into the first period, it's Ilya Sorokin coming up with the first save of the game on Ryan McDonough at 1:13 of the first period. Sorokin comes up with a save on Nyquist, and then, well, he's going to take a break for a while. 3:16 of the first period, it's UC Saros coming up with his first save of the game. That comes on Wahlstrom. Outstanding tracking for the first shot against of the game, coming from behind the net below the goal line out to the low slot area. Again, Saros, a really strong save to start the game. 3:49 of the first period, UC Saros comes to save on Engvall. 5:54 of the first period now, and UC Saros coming with a save on Wahlstrom for the second time in this first period. 7:27 of the first, it's Saros coming with a save on Barzal, and the teams are trading chances back and forth. That's where we find ourselves at the 8-minute mark when Saros is coming with another save on Barzal. The Islanders have a very strong shift buzzing around the Nashville Predators zone, gaining the best possession of either of the two teams so far in this game. At the 8:58 mark of the first, it's Saros again coming up with another big save on Pelech, and then at the 12-minute mark when the teams traded chances back and forth between the faceoff circles with no shots connecting on net, we get to the 12-minute mark, and that's where Saros comes with a save on Romanov. At 12:51 of the first, Sorokin comes with a save on Shen. That's the first shot on goal for the Nashville Predators in 11+ minutes. Shen, his long shot at 12:51 of the first period. 15:34 of the first period, Ilya Sorokin coming with a save on Luke Evangelista at 16:02. Saros, a save on Barzal. At 17:12, UC Saros, a save on Aho. And at the 18:32 mark of the first period, UC Saros coming with a save on Horvat's partial breakaway. This is probably the other best save of the first period for UC Saros of the Nashville Predators. The 19:09 mark of the first period, it's Lee off to the box. 2 minutes for hooking on Tommy Novak, our first special teams scenario of the game. Good zone time for the Preds over the final 51 seconds of the period, but no shots on goal. We hit the intermission with the Islanders out shooting the Predators 9-7, but we will have a carryover of 1 minute and 9 seconds of power play time for the Preds into the second period, and we'll pick it up there. Puck's not getting through for the Nashville Predators. 0 shots on goal over the continuation of the power play in the second period, so the Predators aren't able to generate any offense. 2:37 of the second period, it's Luzon off the box. 2 minutes for hooking, so the Preds start the period on a power play. Now they'll go on their first penalty kill right away, and it's Saros with a save on Barzal, and then Saros coming up with another save on Riley at the 7:11 mark of the second period. It is Sorokin coming up with a save on the captain, Roman Josi. This is the first shot on goal of the period for the Nashville Predators, so you have to go back quite a while to the 15:34 mark, I believe, of the first period to when the Preds had their previous shot. So the Preds went a substantial amount of time in the first period without a shot, then a length of time from the end of the first through the second second, all the way up to the 7-11 mark of the second period before they get their first shot on net of this game. Already showing some weariness in those legs on the second night of back-to-back. 7:44 of the second period. Saros coming with the save on Dobson at 8:24 of the second period. Sorokin coming with the save on Dante Fabro at 8:58. Sorokin comes up with a save on the captain Roman Yossi. It's the first time the Preds have generated any offense in a while. At the 9:56 mark, it's UC Saros coming with a save on Nelson. At the 11:34 mark, we've crossed over the halfway point in this game. Still no score. Saros comes with a save on Bo Horvat at 12:14 of the second period. It's Luzon off to the box again. This time, 2 minutes for interference earlier in the period. Picked up a hooking penalty. This one, tough, tight call, but it was probably the right call. Luzon finished off his hit as the puck was already out of that area. The puck had vacated the area, and he continued playing the body. That is technically interference. Just a tough call for Jeremy Luzon, who was playing a pretty good physical game. UC Saros comes up with a save on Barzal while the Nashville Predators on the penalty kill. UC Saros then comes up with a save on Dobson. The Preds PK is able to stand strong and not give up any goals. 13:21 now of the second period. It's UC Saros coming with a save on Nelson at the 14:44 mark of the second period. It's UC Saros coming with a save on Martin, and that was a heavy shot right there. But at 15:10, Martin is off the box. It's 2 minutes for tripping on the captain, Roman Yossi, who took the puck and was looking to lead the rush. A lot of conversation lately about Roman Yossi not taking off on the rush. Andrew Burnett said it's okay to go, and he did just that. He earns power play for the Nashville Predators team, but unfortunately, his Nashville Predators team are overthinking it out there and looking for the perfect shot, looking for the perfect play, and honestly, it's kind of sloppy, choppy, and they're not doing a very good job with the possession times they have, so they end up generating 0 shots on goal. Again, just looking for the absolute perfect play. 17:36 of the second period. UC Saros coming with a save on Engvall at the 18:07 mark of the second period. UC Saros coming with a save on Aho at 18:35 of the second period. Sorokin comes with a save on Guryanov. This was by far the best chance of the period for the Nashville Predators. It was not only a good hard shot off of the rush, but low to the glove side. Seemed to catch Sorokin just a little bit off guard. Guryanov showing that he has a hell of a wrist shot right there. Again, the Predators' best scoring chance comes at 18:35 of the second period. 19:03 of the second period. It's Sorokin coming up with a save on Nyquist. We hit the end of the second period. Still no score in this game. The New York Islanders, though, now out shooting the Nashville Predators 19-13. So the Islanders pick up 10 shots on goal in the second period. The Preds only pick up 6 shots on goal. We go to the clean sheet, the third period. We're going to settle this one in the final 20 or possibly beyond. 58 seconds into the third period. Ilya Sorokin coming up with the save on the captain, Roman Yossi, at 2:23 of the third period. It's Palmieri shooting the puck over the crossbar. Islanders had an incredible opportunity off of the rush right here, and he just ripped it way high off of the glass. 4 minutes into the final frame, and it's Sorokin coming with a save on McCarron's redirect with the mask. A slick redirect and an even slicker save by Sorokin, putting the face right into it and getting the job done. At 4:31 of the third period, Ilya Sorokin coming with the save on Jeremy Luzon at 5:15 of the third period. Sorokin coming with the save on Guryanov. 6:15, Sorokin comes up with a save on the captain, Roman Yossi. 8:30, another save on Philip Tomasino. At 8:57, Sorokin comes with a save on Guryanov, and the game has absolutely opened up, and it is the Predators that are getting all of the shots on net. The Islanders are getting the puck, and they're getting odd man rushes, but they're failing to hit the net. They're missing on their opportunities, and the game is absolutely opened up, and the Preds have generated 7 shots on goal already here in this third period. They were only able to get 7 shots on goal in total in the first period, 6 in the second. Now they have 7 at this moment in the third period. We're halfway through the third period at the 10:08 mark of the third period. UC Saros coming with a save on Engvall. It's the first shot on goal of the period for the New York Islanders. So for the first time in this game, the Islanders went a significant portion of time without generating a shot on net. At the 11:12 mark of the third period, Sorokin coming up with a save on Luke Evangelista at the 12-minute mark of the third period. We have our scoring breakthrough. 52 minutes into the game. It's Pasha with his 5th goal of the season, giving the New York Islanders a 1-0 lead at Bridgestone Arena. It was a redirect in the slot from a shot out high. The Preds did collapsed after a turnover, and the Islanders had their way. A good look at it, a good redirect, a very tough shot for UC Saros to see. The Islanders take the lead 1-0 at Bridgestone Arena. At 13:13 of the third period, we see Palmieri going off to the box 2 minutes before tripping. Luke Evangelista doing a good job chipping, chasing, drawing the power play for his team. On the power play, we see Sorokin having to make a save on Forsberg. The Preds giving up on perfection and this time looking to just unload with heavy shots and pressure. Sorokin comes up with a save on Nyquist, and then it is Luke Evangelista with his 8th goal of the season. He had the first opportunity, tried to stick handle one too many times, lost the puck, gets it back. This time takes the wrist shot from the face-off dot. It goes off of the D and into the net. The Nashville Predators have tied this game at 1 apiece. And then we go to the 16:30 mark of the third period. That's where we find UC Saros coming with a save on Horvat. 16:43, Saros comes with a save on Barzal. The Isles are buzzing. Don't look very content to settle for taking this one overtime and getting a point. And that's when at 19:52, we find Alex Carrier firing the heavy shot towards the net. It hits the D stick. The D stick explodes. The puck flutters up into the air and lands in the net over Sorokin for Carrier's 3rd goal of the season, and the Nashville Predators lead 2-1 at 19:52 of the third period. Just an incredibly lucky scenario right here, but Carrier did the hard work to lead up to it. At 19:58 of the third period, Parson hits the empty net goal with half a second left, his 8th of the season. Your finals 3-1 in this game. The Nashville Predators on the second out of back-to-backs find just enough energy in the third period to get a power play goal to tie it, win it late, and get the empty net goal to give themselves just a little bit of comfort for the final face-off of the game. 28-25 are your shots on goal. 3-1 is your final. The Nashville Predators take 4 points over the back-to-back weekend, and an incredible job by the Preds to hang in there and survive, just like I did throughout this entire recap. That was a Reverse Sports full game recap. You gave us 10 minutes. We gave you the entire game, back with the box score analysis and so much more right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to January 15th of the year 2024 when the Nashville Predators were in Vegas to take on the Golden Knights for the first time this season. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his line combination defensive pairings in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Trennan, Sissons, and Gorionov, Smith, Novak, and Evangelista, Parson, and Karen, and Tomasino, Yossi and Fabro, McDonough, and Shen, Luzon, and Carrier. UC Saros gets the start on the road. It takes until 4:25 of the first period for Thompson to make his first save of the game. It comes on Philip Tomasino. It's the first shot on goal of the game. We go all the way to 6:44 of the first period before we get another shot on goal. Some low event hockey here early in the first period. It's Thompson again coming with a save on Gorionov at 7:17 of the first period. It's Thompson coming up with a save on the captain Roman Yossi at 9:37. Thompson another save on the captain Roman Yossi at 10:41 of the first period. We find our first penalty, our first special team scenario of the game. It's Stevenson off to the box, 2 minutes for tripping on Alex Carrier. Thompson would come up with a save on Luke Evangelista. Thompson also would save on McDonough's long shot, but that long shot was very weak, and it was McDonough really just trying to freeze for an offensive zone faceoff before the end of the power play. The power play itself, not very strong, some good zone time, but not a lot of good looks at the net. We're now at 14:51 of the first period. UC Saros coming with a save on Peter Angelo. It's the first shot on goal of the game for the Las Vegas Golden Knights. So the Nashville Predators held the Vegas Golden Knights without a shot for 14 minutes and 51 seconds to open the game. But at 15:25, not 30 seconds later, it's Stone getting his 13th goal of the season. It was a rebound put back as for Nashville. Predators seem to lose the most elite goal scorer in this game somewhere in the slot. Don't quite know how that happened right there. Defensive zone awareness was lacking on this play, and attention to detail also lacking. Stone cashes in for his 13th Vegas. That's a 1-0 lead on home ice. At 16:15 of the first period, it's Thompson coming with a save on Fabro. Trennan knocks the rebound out of the air just wide of the post. Great hand-eye coordination right there from Yakov Trennan. 18:27 of the first period. Saros coming up with a save on Korzak. That's going to wrap it up for the first period. The Nashville Predators outshoot the Vegas Golden Knights 8-5 in the first period, but it's Vegas holding a 1-0 lead. Vegas played a perfect first period against a road team coming in with a little bit of momentum. Survive, get the goal, go to the intermission. We start the second period on a clean sheet, and there's that guy again, Stone. He is one of the most elite goal scorers in the NHL, and he picks up his 14th second of the game. He was wide open, crashing down the backside of the post. Picks a different location this time, but the result is the same. The Vegas Golden Knights now lead 2-0 on Stone's 2 goals in this game. We are 1:48 into the second period, and it's Thompson coming with a save on Dante Fabro at 2:28 of the second period. It's Thompson coming with a save on Tommy Novak at 2:51 of the second period. UC Saros comes with with a save on Haig at the 4:13 mark of the second period. UC Stars comes with a save on Alex Pietrangelo at 4:32. Thompson comes up with a save on Philip Tomasino at the 6:10 mark of the second period. UC Saros coming up with a save. Then we find a penalty on the Vegas Golden Knights. It's going to be Stone at 6:53 off the box. 2 minutes for tripping. He's filling up all the boxes in this game. Nashville Predators looking for a much better effort on this second power play, and they are going to get us. Philip Forsberg absolutely engages immediately on this power play. Thompson has to stop Philip Forsberg not once, not twice, but 3 times before the end of this power play. Thompson would also have to come up with a save on the captain, Roman Josi. 4 total shots for the Nashville Predators. Much better zone time, much better looks at the net, but the same result, unable to convert. We're now at 9:32 of the second period, and it's Thompson coming up with a save on Yakov Trenin at the 10:06 mark of the second period. UC Stars coming with a save on Cotter. We're now past the midway point of the game at 10:53 of the second. It's Thompson coming with a save on Philip Forsberg at the 11:12 mark of the second period. It's Thompson coming with another save on Tommy Novak at 13:35 of the second period. It's going to be Carey off to the box, 2 minutes for tripping. UC Stars going to have to come up with a big save on Dorofeyev on this particular power play. 16 minutes into the second period. It's Thompson coming with a save on Nyquist at the 16:57 mark. Saros comes with a save on Brisson as the teams trade back and forth chances here towards the end of the second period. At 17:22 of the second period, we find Luke Evangelista picking up his 9th goal of the season. He was working incredibly hard in the low slot area, fighting off the defender, gets free just enough to deflect this puck into the net after he wins that battle. Vegas still holds a 2-1 lead, but Luke Evangelista doing an incredible job right here, getting the Nashville Predators back in the game with his 9th goal of the season. 18:30 of the second period now. Korzak's off to the box, 2 minutes for high, sticking on Gurianov. Sissons, though, is going to be picking up a penalty almost immediately for tripping. That's going to create a 4-on-4 scenario. And that's where the Las Vegas Golden Knights are going to pounce as Stone picks up his 15th goal of the season. Yes, his 3rd goal of the game. He's got the hat trick. It's a wrist shot off of the rush. Another way of scoring, another spot in the net and scoring, but the same result yet again. 3 for 3 for Stone in this game. He's now got a hat trick. He's got 15 goals in the season, and the Vegas Golden Knights have 3 goals in this game, leading the Nashville Predators 3-1. That's going to do it for the end of the second period. Special team scenarios will carry over into the third. Shots on goal, 22-21. So Preds had 8 shots on goal after the first, 22 after the second. Vegas had 5 after the first period, 21 after the second period, and in much more high event hockey in the second period there compared to the first period. All right, we roll the sheet on over to the backside, and we go to the third period on the clean sheet. 47 seconds in. It's Thompson coming with a save on Nyquist at the 1:30 mark. Saros comes up with a power play save on Marchus. So the Vegas Golden Knights, a short power play here after the 4-on-4 expires. At the 2:34 mark of the third period, it's Thompson coming with a save on Luke Evangelista at the 2:50 mark of the third period. It's UC Saros coming up with a save on Cotter at the 4:23 mark of the third period. It's Thompson coming up with a save on Philip Tomasino at the 6:01 mark of the third period. At the first TV timeout, it's Whitecloud off the box, 2 minutes for holding, giving the Nashville Predators a golden opportunity to jump back in this game. Thompson would come up with a save on O'Reilly almost immediately at the start of the power play. Then Thompson would come up with another save on Nyquist, and Philip Forsberg would, of course, dial in on this power play as well, as Thompson would have to come up with a big save on Philip Forsberg. At the 10:33 mark of the third period, it's Thompson coming up with a save on Tommy Novak's backhand. Tommy Novak, slick job right here off the rush, tried to go inside out. When he realized that wasn't going to happen, still drove to the net and made a strong move with the backhand. It was a more difficult save than it sounds. Thompson fumbled with the puck just a little bit, so great job there by Tommy Novak, taking advantage of an opportunity and seeming like a harmless scoring play. 12:18 now of the third period, and it's UC Saros coming up with a save on Dorofeyev, a big-time save right here at the 12:26 mark. Saros, another save on Stone, so UC Saros does actually stop Stone at one point in this game. At the 14:01 mark now of the third period, it is Thompson coming up with a save on Yakov Trenin at the 14:53 mark of the third period. It's UC Saros coming up with a save on Howden at 17:08 with the extra attacker on. It's Thompson coming up with a save on Nyquist. The Nashville Predators would continue to get good zone time, but they would not be able to get any of their passes towards the interior between the 18th and 19th minute. We go to 19:01 of the third period, and that's where we find Thompson coming up with a save on Tommy Novak, and that would be the last save that Thompson would have to make in this game at 19:42. Marchessault would win the race down the ice, negating the icing, and he would fire the puck from a sharp angle into the empty net for his 18th goal of the season. That's an empty net goal, making the score of this game 4-1 in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights. Drop the puck, academic from that point on. 4-1 is your final in this game. The Nashville Predators do outshoot the Vegas Golden Knights 35-30, and you've got to give credit to an elite goal scorer in Stone for scoring 3 of the 4 goals, everything but the empty netter for the Vegas Golden Knights. And you know what? You got to give a lot of credit to Thompson as well. 34 out of 35 in this game. That's a really good, strong performance by him in this one. And for the Nashville Predators, their inability to cash in the first period allowed the Vegas Golden Knights to play basically a cliche perfect home game. The Vegas Golden Knights were able to withstand the pressure, withstand the surge at the beginning of the game in the first 10 minutes. They didn't even generate a single shot on goal. But then once they were able to sustain that 10 shots and that first 10 minutes, then they were able to get themselves back out there on the rink, get themselves that first goal of the game. Then from there, they played from ahead, and Stone is just an elite goal scorer at this NHL level. So incredible effort by the Vegas Golden Knights. They played a very good, tight, professional home game, got a good game from their starting netminder Thompson, and their top goal scorer, elite goal scorer, does the job. Their captain led the way. So for the Nashville Predators, they fall 4-1 in this one. They outshoot Vegas 35-30, and for the Nashville Predators, they just could not seem to get the puck into the back of the net at certain parts of this game, and certainly that's what created the difficulties in coming back in winning this one. So for the Nashville Predators, a first of 3 on the road. This is a tough road trip. The Nashville Predators starting in Vegas, then going to LA, then going to Arizona before heading back home. That's a tough one on the first stop. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We'll be back with more analysis, box score, and other things on the Renegades of Puck. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to January the 18th of the year 2024, when the Nashville Predators were in Los Angeles for the first of 3 regular season meetings against the Kings. Head coach Andrew Brunette deployed his lines in the following combinations: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Trennan, Sissons, and Tomasino, Smith, Novak, Evangelista, Parson, Glass, and Gurionov. Some different combinations for sure. Lines 2, 3, and 4. Your defensive pairings are Yossi and Fabro, McDonough, and Shen, Luzon, and Carrier. UC Saros gets the start in LA. And on the clean sheet, the beginning of the game, 52 seconds in, UC Saros coming up with the first save of the game on Roy. At the 129 mark at the first, it's UC Saros coming up with a save on Gavrikov. At the 143 mark, good old big save Dave. Dave Reddick comes up with a save on Shen's National Predators' first shot on goal of the game. The 305 mark at the first period, UC Saros coming up with a save on Moore. At 432, Saros comes up with a save on Gavrikov, plus the follow-up immediately after. 4:45 of the first period, we see Riddick coming up with a save on Goryanov's breakaway. LA absolutely dominating the first 5 minutes of play on home ice, out shooting the Nashville Predators 7-3 and controlling the majority of the play until that Goryanov breakaway. The Nashville Predators had been offensively stagnant in the first few minutes of this game. 6:24 now, the first period, it's Riddick coming up with a save on Parsonen with the 360 move in the slot. Highly impressive skill right here. Could not convert, or else this would have been a highlight reel goal for sure. At the 7:43 mark of the first period, we find our first penalty in special teams of the game. It's Philip Forsberg off the box. 2 minutes for slashing on his old teammate, Kevin Fiala. I'm sure they had a chuckle about that one. It's an outstanding PK for the Nashville Predators. They do not give up a single shot on goal to the LA Kings. As a matter of fact, they keep them largely outside of the zone, stifling them at the blue line with many blue line denials. At the 9:58 mark of the first period, Juicy Stars coming with the save on Lafreniere. At the 11:24 mark of the first period, it's Riddick coming up with the save on Luzon. 11:38, it's Sissons off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Predators PK doing a great job, and they actually are able to negate the LA Kings power play by drawing a penalty on Byfield. 2 minutes for high sticking in the offensive zone area. That's going to create a 4-on-4 for 50 seconds, and then a Nashville Predators power play for 1 minute and 10 seconds. But Roy is going to be off to the box. 2 minutes for cross-checking. That's going to create a 5-on-3 in favor of the Nashville Predators for 23 seconds. And big save Dave is going to live up to his reputation on this one. So Riddick comes up with the save on Yossi. This one was fairly easy without a lot of traffic, with the rest of them going to be incredibly difficult. Riddick comes up with a save on O'Reilly at close range. Forsberg right there at the post on the rebound, and then Riddick comes up with another save on O'Reilly before the end of the power play. The Predators just peppering the net in LA. At the 18:24 mark, LA gets its best look of the period, but it's more putting the puck over the top of the crossbar from the low slot area. UC Saros not credited with a save, nor the LA Kings credited with a shot on goal, so they go a significant amount of time to end the first period without a shot on goal. The Predators, at the end of the first, 12 shots, LA 8. So remember, the LA Kings were out shooting the Predators 7-3, just 4:45 into the first period. LA only ends up with one more shot on goal through the rest of the first. We go into the second period. We're all the way to 2:43 of the second period. It's Lafreniere hitting the post, so ringing iron in LA. 3:09 of the second period. Saros coming with a save on Dubois. 3:17 mark of the second period. It's Fabro off the box. 2 minutes for slashing. Nashville Predators find themselves on the penalty kill yet again. Saros comes with a save on Quinton Byfield, and Saros comes with a save on Moore. McDonough has to clear the rebound off of the goal line, and he does so. UC Saros comes up with a save on Lewis's deflection at close range. At the 6:25 mark of the second period, it's Dubois off the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Predators getting an opportunity on the power play right here, and it is O'Reilly cashing in with his 17th goal of the season. He breaks up the shorthanded 2-on-1 with a perfect stick lift, stick check, then gets back into the play, goes to the net, and gets the perfect deflection of the captain Roman Yossi shot. It was the epitome of Ryan O'Reilly all in one play right here. 200 feet of hockey bringing the jam at both ends of the ice. His 17th goal of the season gives the Predators a 1-0 lead over LA at 8:35 of the second period. It's McDonough off to the box. 2 minutes for delay of game for dislodging the net. A little bit of disagreement with this call right here. I do understand the call, but I disagree with the call. He had to dive across the back of UC Saros to knock the puck out of midair. I do believe it was in danger of going in the net, so he makes the save in the process of dislodging the net. McDonough charged for delay of game. Again, we disagree here, but we move on. It's going to be Doughty getting his 10th goal of the season, tying the game up at 1 apiece for LA. It's a one-time bomb that goes bar down, and this was just an incredibly powerful shot off of the bottom of the iron into the net. Nothing UC Saros can do about this one. Tie game now. Midway through the second period. At 10:15 in the second period, it's Riddick coming up with a save on Nyquist at 10:26 mark of the second period. It's Riddick coming up with a save on Forsberg plus his rebound follow-up. At the 13:40 mark of the second period, it's Nyquist. His 12th goal of the season is a rebound putback of Schen's long shot. He cleans up right here, giving the Nashville Predators a 2-1 lead, restoring that one-goal lead. Now we move to the 14:10 mark of the second period. It's UC Saros coming up with a save on Roy. Things seem to slow down right here with the 18:36 mark. That's where Riddick comes with a save on Yossi. 19:27, Riddick another save on Sissons. And 19:41 of the second period, it's UC Saros coming up with a save on Kempe. That'll do it for the end of the second period. The Nashville Predators hold a 2-1 lead, are now out shooting LA 22-21. The LA Kings able to generate 13 shots on goal in the second period. We flip over to the back of the sheet, and that's where we find the beginning of the third period. We are 36 seconds into that third period, and it's big save Dave Riddick coming up with a save on Yakov Trent at the 1:52 mark of the third period. Riddick comes up with a save on McDonough at the 2:29 mark of the third period. Riddick comes up with a save with a mask on Forsberg. Forsberg just wheels and rips the one-timer from around the half wall. Sharp angle off of the mask definitely stuns Riddick in the crease area. It took him a couple seconds to shake off the cobwebs, but he's able to do so as the play goes down the other end of the ice. 3:42 of the third. Saros comes up with a save on Grundstrom. 4:16 of the third. Saros comes with a save on Lewis. Lewis. We now move to the 5:46 mark of the third period, and Riddick is back to work, coming with a save on Cole Smith. At the 7:08 mark of the third, Riddick comes up with a save on Gurionov. At the 7:39 mark, Saros comes up with a save on England down to the other end of the ice. Now, a couple of minutes go by to 9:29 before Riddick comes up with a save on Shen at the 10:36 mark. It's UC Saros coming up with a save on Anderson. At the 10:39 mark, though, right after Saros makes the save, it's Luzon picking up the hooking penalty right there around the blue paint area. The Nashville Predators find themselves shorthanded here midway through the third period, and another outstanding penalty kills. The Preds would not give up a single shot on goal. As a matter of fact, Rowan Yossi would get the only shot on goal during this 2-minute span for the Nashville Predators. The Preds stifling the LA Kings at the blue line, and now the Predators are going into strangle mode on this third period. 13:45 of the third period. It's Riddick coming up with a save on Philip Forsberg. We go all the way to the 16:10 mark of the third period when UC Saros comes up with a save on Gavrikov at the 18:06 mark, now with the extra attacker on for LA. So 6-on-5. It's UC Saros coming up with a save on Moore. 18:09. UC Saros comes up with another save on Moore. A large scrum would break out as UC Saros pinned the puck against the side of the net, and the LA Kings kept pushing along. But I was happy to see the Nashville Predators defenders push the LA Kings right away from the crease and continue scrumming it up until it was time to go back to play. At the 18:31 mark now of the third period, continuing on with the 6-on-5 attack, UC Saros comes with a save on Antti Kopitar at the back post. Kopitar got a great look at it right here, but could not convert. At the 19:25 mark of the third period, UC Saros coming with a save on Moore. Yossi has to clear the rebound out of midair. Yossi has had plenty of experience this season clearing rebounds and getting glove saves, but this highly impressive hand-eye coordination right here to prevent the LA Kings from getting another follow-up scoring chance. At the 19:34 mark of the third period, it's UC Saros coming up with a save on Kempe at the end of the game. Right at 19:58, the LA Kings with one more opportunity. It's UC Saros coming up with the blocker save, keeps the play alive, gets the buzzer, and the Nashville Predators secure this victory 2-1 in Los Angeles. The LA Kings do outshoot the Nashville Predators 34-33, but the Nashville Predators did an incredible job once they got ahead in this game 2-1 of just strangling the LA Kings in the neutral zone, and the blue line denials all night long for the Nashville Predators, especially when shorthanded, were simply incredible. With the extra attacker on, the LA Kings were able to make this game very stressful, this one-goal game, over the final 2 minutes and generate a couple of their best scoring chances of the period, but that's exactly what the 6-on-5 scenario is set up for. So the LA Kings able to generate some good pressure at the end of the game. The Preds bend, don't break. UC Saros comes out of this one with a very strong victory on the road in Los Angeles against a team that may not be playing good as of late, but a team that's playing pretty good on the season, still in a playoff spot. The Nashville Predators jump the Kings. We'll have more in the analysis portion of things, and that's coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Thanks so much for joining us for the Renegades of Puck 2023-2024 Nashville Predators season recap. We're doing it in chunks of 5 games, so we sure to appreciate you jumping along on the journey and checking out each and every part. Remember, you can check us out at renegadesofpuck.com, check us out on social media, and we sure to appreciate each and every one of you for jumping in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Sonnier. Stick taps, love, and respect.